Hello, and welcome back to this semester's first episode of Hoosier News Source. I'm Pasha Belyayev.
And I'm London Swan. In trend with the recent strings of violent incidents around campus, police were called to the 200th block of Varsity Lane at Varsity Villas after receiving a report of a stabbing. Officers found a 20-year-old victim with stab wounds to his stomach and upper right arm at the apartment complex. Ambulances transported the man to the IU Health Bloomington. According to witnesses, the stabbing occurred during a fight between the victim and two other men. The two suspects then fled the scene. Anyone with information about the incident should notify the Bloomington Police Department.
For its accepting climate and support for the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender community, IU received a top ranking from a national organization. After thoroughly assessing 8 different criteria, the Campus Pride organization awarded IU with a 5-star rating. Hoosier News Source's Kevin Wang is at IU's LGBT Student Support Services office with the latest on what that rating means. Kevin?
Well, good morning, Pasha. The rating is actually called LGBT Campus Pride Index. It is operated by Campus Pride, which is a non-profit organization that works with college students across the country to create LGBT-friendly environment on college campus. University officials say they are certainly proud of the rating, but not surprised to see it. And for those who have been working for years to make IU more LGBT-friendly, they say the rating is simply the best return for their hard work. Doc Bowder has been working in LGBT Student Support Services office for 17 years. On his desk, there's a stack of cards saying "Welcome home." But he says the office was not welcome at all when it was first opened in the midst of storms back in 1994. One of the many issues they faced was lack of financial support from the state.
There were state legislators who said they would withhold funding from the state budget if this office opened, to the tune of $500,000. That was the threat.
Back then, Indiana State Legislator Woody Merton explained his concern in a letter he wrote to a publication editor. At the end of the letter, he said, quote, "Indiana University's sole mission is to educate. However, it seems strange that IU would use taxpayers' dollars to promote a lifestyle that is contradictory to overall teaching in our country." End quote. That letter is now stored in this archive book that records the steps and revolutions that then GLB office has gone through. Thanks to then IU President Miles Brand, the office was able to survive under private funding. With the support from university president and others, the GLBT office soon took off on campus.
We got up and running, collaborated early on with lots of offices and departments. Students started coming into our office, and we were just really touched by the cooperation we had, but also the need for providing a space on this campus where people felt safe and could talk about their issues.
The office now has 10 student staffers and about 30 volunteers. Senior Eric Gonzoba has been working in the office since the end of his sophomore year. Now he's the office outreach coordinator.
I'm interested in diversity. I'm interested in LGBT issues and the rights of LGBT students to have an equal and safe environment in college. And so I don't think I've ever felt opposition to working here. So
the rating looks at criteria such as academic, student life, counseling and health, and also safety. In terms of the overall support for LGBT equality, officials say the increasing diversity awareness on campus makes IU one of the 33 schools that get the 5-star ranking.
We're trying to create an environment that is so comfortable that everybody feels like IU is a home away from home, and they'll do their best work. And IU will, it'll benefit the institution, it'll benefit the individuals, it'll enhance the educational experience of all students.
Well, the director of Campus Pride, Shane Windmeyer, he actually earned a degree from IU years ago. But officials say that didn't make any easier for assessment process. Actually, he pushed even harder when he returned to do field evaluations. Reporting outside IU GLBT Student Support Services office, Kevin Wang, Hoosier News Source. Pasha, now send it back to you.
Thanks, Kevin. If campus feels a bit more crowded this year, you are not mistaken. 7,410 freshmen enrolled at IU this fall, the second highest student enrollment total in school history. In addition to this enrollment increase, the class of 2015 has also raised the bar academically. The average SAT score increased 2 points for this freshman class, and 3/4 of freshmen were in the top quarter of their high school graduating class. Furthermore, international student enrollment has increased by 0.5%. This brings IU Bloomington's total enrollment to 42,081 students.
In 2006, the IU Board of Trustees agreed to a diversity plan that would double the number of unrepresented minority students by the 2014 school year. With 2014 fast approaching, organizations like the Hudson and Holland Scholars program are doing what they can to meet this goal. Part of this effort includes recruiting quality students and being a part of a support system for them once they arrive on campus.
These are students who are coming here with the tools to be successful. They meet every criteria to get into this university. Only thing we're doing is helping them to discover themselves, helping them to understand that as part of America, you're a minority, you're underrepresented wherever you may be, wherever you may work. But the fact is you have a lot to add, you have a lot to bring to the table.
Volunteer efforts are continuing in the Lauren Spierer case. This past Sunday, volunteers gathered on the corner of 8th Street and College Avenue to spread the word about the missing student. More than 125 people distributed stacks of missing person posters and flyers for 7 hours around the community. The Spieers had designed a new poster in the hopes of garnering more attention regarding their daughter's disappearance. Since returning from summer vacation, the Spieers hope that the new poster will encourage students to speak up. If you know anything about the disappearance of Lauren Spierer, please contact the Bloomington Police.
The return of students to campus signals the resurgence of campus-wide drinking. With this return comes the influx of drinking tickets for underage drinkers. Excise officers issued around a staggering 200 drinking tickets during Welcome Week. The increased presence of excise officers is due to the push to enforce underage drinking laws. The push towards stricter regulation is due in part to the ongoing nature of the Lauren Spierer case. The 20-year-old disappeared after a night of drinking at Kilroy's bar. The case is riddled with underage drinking violations. 89 people total were charged with possession or consumption of alcohol. 33 were charged with possessing a fake ID. 23 were charged with using a fake ID, and 19 adults were charged with providing alcohol to minors. The efforts of excise officers are still ongoing.
Remember to check the news department's newly launched online news site. This will give you the opportunity to follow up with stories you see on the show and get more in depth. You can read full transcripts of stories and see what other news didn't make the show. Check it out at iustvnews.wordpress.com.
Well, that's all we have for you this week on Hoosier News Source. Check back with us next week for a look inside IU's high ranking as the 3rd hottest college in the nation.
And for more national and entertainment news, check out What's Up Weekly with hosts Margot Andrews and Brittany Bradley. See you next week.